Hi, it's Ann Mobley with Obey the Beagle. While you're waiting for your email to arrive, let me run you through what I think are the 3 biggest secrets in getting your grant application funded. Of course, there's no guarantee to anything, but if you can master these 3 factors, you'll see a dramatic uptick in the number of your grants that are approved. The first of these is find the call of the question. Each grant maker is different. They're looking for different things. You've got to make sure that you are using the right words with them. The second is to submit a lot of grant applications. Don't submit one and wait for it to be approved or denied. Keep the pipeline full of them, and we've included an Excel sheet for you to track your grant applications with as well. The third thing is to have a lot of solid, specific numbers. Do your research on this and look at the example in the grant application I'm sending you to see how we really broke it down dog by dog as to what a program would cost and how the grant money would be used. Think back to your high school days, and you may remember somebody talking to you about the call of the question. In its simplest terms, that means if the question is, what color is that dog? Your answer should not be 7 years old. Your answer should be brown or brindle or whatever. Look at specifically what the question, and in this case, what the grant maker is asking for. It's no more complicated than looking at the specific words that are used and making sure in your narrative that you use those words and address those particular factors. Here's an example from one grant that's in our 100 grant makers list. The trust seeks to embody her values, being the lady whose trust is named after, by encouraging people to take advantage of opportunities that enhance the quality of their lives. They want organizations that can demonstrate and measure the impact of their work. So for a grant application for this particular source, you're not going to be talking about preventing violence or preventing anything. You're going to be talking about encouraging people. You're going to address the opportunities that are out there, hopefully have a list of them. Talk about how this grant will encourage people to take advantage of those, how those opportunities will enhance the quality of their lives, how you're going to demonstrate that and measure it. You need to address each one of these words individually. And if you have to, just lay out a list. Say encouragement. Talk about how this grant would be used to encourage people specifically. Talk about the opportunities. Talk about how taking advantage of that opportunity will enhance their life. And that may seem obvious. For instance, suppose you need some transportation and the grant will be used to buy a car. Well, that's great. Everybody kind of knows that having a car is better than not having a car. But what you need to do is specifically talk about how that will enhance the quality of your life. You'll be able to go to the store. You'll be able to go to the store when sales are on and reduce your cost of living by taking advantage of sales on a particular day. You'll be able to go to Costco, which is further away but has lower prices. You need to lay out the specifics of how this enhances the quality of your life. Finally, you've got to be able to demonstrate and measure the impact, which means you need some way of assessing where people are before they got the grant and where they will be after your program helps them as a result of that grant. You've got to be able to measure that. You've got to submit a lot of grants. You can't sit around and wait for one to be approved or disapproved and then go on to the next one. And the only way to really do this is work up a template. Our 5-Minute Grant Writer series is designed to help you do just that. It's based on Catherine Lemon's original work, and it's used with her express permission. And it breaks down the process of building a template into easy to complete tasks. So look at that. It's on the website, and we'll send you a copy of that as well with your materials. Don't be afraid to ask other groups for examples of successful grant applications. Most people are glad to share, and there is plenty of room for everyone. Each time you work up a grant, though, don't forget to customize it. I mean, you may have a template, but you can't just send that template to every single grant maker on this list, you have to go look at their specific call of the question that we looked at earlier, see if they want to prevent something, encourage something, establish something, see what their particular interest is, and customize that template. But that said, once you have the template, it's much easier to customize it than it is to start from scratch each time. Finally, you've got to have your numbers down. You must have solid and specific numbers, and you must have a source for them. This is really the hardest part, but if you look at the example we sent on Coonhounds Go North, you can see how we've broken it down into costs for each individual dog, and you've got to get into that level of detail. If it is for a transport program, break it down by mile. If it's for a vetting program for dogs, then do your homework. Call around, get a range of prices, see which place you'll be using for it, and get the exact numbers. Include price sheets if you can to show that you've done the work. Break it down into individual cases and use specific numbers. Don't tell the grant maker it's going to cost around $2,000 to put a car in use to transport dogs north. Show them examples of advertisements for vehicles that you need that would suit your specifications. Show them a range of what things sold for recently. If it's for vetting, get a price sheet or firm commitment from your veterinary partner. Be very specific. Be very specific. Now, normally you're not going to get turned down, and quite frankly, a lot of times they don't even check to see if you adhered, if you stayed within your budget on that, to each, on each individual item. But you've got to, in the proposal, be very specific, down to the penny. Break it down in the proposal.